So the next part of this interaction or the lecture on the types of or the diversification of the magma, it is very important to understand that when these types of magma chambers they are evolving into a much different composition which was earlier or pre-existing in the magma chamber itself, as I have told you regarding assimilation process. When the magma will tend to rise from the lower parts of the crust towards the upper parts of the crust. It is deeper level of the crust where the composition is different, so the assimilation or the products of the fractionation and assimilation process will be different. Then if some amount of magma is transferred from this part to the middle crustal sections, then obviously there will be a change of magma composition, and again into the upper parts of the crust the magma chamber or the composition will be different because of the assimilation process. And if the content of the heat or the heat content is much higher than which was pre-existing when the primitive magma composition was generated in this lower crust or lower crust mantle transition zone. Now these things are relevant because in middle crust or the upper crust, middle crust or in the upper crust, the compositions are different, and that's why the assimilants will be separate in composition, like in the middle crust or in the upper crust, or etc., etc. And the fractions which are getting involved during this assimilation process or the partial melting processes will be much more different. And obviously there are chances that if a primitive gabbroic composition is crystallized in this environment or deeper parts of the crust, the rest of the magma leaving the restite or the residuum will move as basaltic composition, and then slowly they might change the assimilation process might change its composition to andesite and etc., etc. There are also chances that if anyhow, but which is very much theoretical, but it is also observed in some parts of the riptogenic systems, that the basaltic magma, because of the fractionation of the Bowens reaction series, probably you have seen in the class notes which I have given you, that earlier mafic phases are being crystallized in form of olivine and pyroxene, then the magma is changing its composition itself, and then the rest of the composition is mostly composed of quartz and feldspar. Sometimes these granitic compositions might also be found when this process or when this evolution is taking place, or the magmatic composition or its diversification is taking place. Okay. Now it is important to note that basaltic magma injection or any type of magma injection can increase the temperature where, or the temperature in the section of the crust where it is being emplaced or where it is getting in or intruding into. That is a very important aspect. Another part is that whenever this magma is intruding, the melting of the associated medium might add some of the fluid due to melting, because as I have told you that Gibbs free energy minimization might cause this system or the contact system to melt itself down, and then because of melting from the surrounding rock, which is known as partial melting process, some of the fluid ingress might take place. And this is important now. Why? because you have known that the fluid ingress might itself lower down the liquidus temperature of any magma composition, then obviously there will be changes, and according to that assimilation process or the changes in the magma composition should take place. So not only that, there are other things that should be taken into account, or like mostly magmas are composed of silicate or dissociated silicate molecules. Okay, silicate molecules and gas, and there will be magnesium and other components. But whenever there is sulfur in the system, then there will be some problems in between or among the silicate networks and the sulfide networks or the bisulfide networks which are in the rock. As a result, what will happen, the silicates and the sulfide will tend to separate themselves into two different entities, and this factor is known as liquid immiscibility. And this liquid immiscibility might cause the magma composition to get much more diverse than it is or it was currently in the rock. And this change or the diversification because of this immiscibility of the silicate and sulfide networks, the magma composition or the magma should diversify obviously. So liquid immiscibility along with assimilation or fractionation or individually fractionation process might change the magma composition while it was generated due to decompression or increment of temperature or fluid ingress, etc., etc. Now, how the magma is getting emplaced, or what are the physical aspects whenever the magma is getting emplaced into the crust? They are practically sometimes controlled by Reynolds number, and Reynolds number practically tells you that whenever a magma is getting intruded through the host rock, how much of change should there be when it is getting or intruding throughout the crustal medium, because at the chambers or the lines or the walls through which the magma is intruding, there will be some vortices. It might be generated, and there might be some convection cells, small scale convection cells. There might be some instability, or there might be not. Now, depending upon the velocity of the intruding magma as well as the density of the magma as well as the viscosity and their contrast, it will determine the Reynolds number. And whenever the Reynolds number in the contact is high, then there are chances that some of the material might get into this intruding magma, and as a result some of the mixing might take place. If it is low, then there will be a thing called mingling, where individual materials of this host might be found in this rock or the intruding magma. And if it is not that high, or less than 1 or less than 0.1, which is a physically connoted parameter, then nothing will happen actually. This mingling, whenever it is taking place, some of the stopping, a magmatic terminology, which might take place. And these are all, you can see, that might change the magma composition or not. Okay. So whenever we are talking about magma, it is more or less a very complex scenario where you are getting some physical parameters as well as some chemical parameters which are directing the magma and how the magma is evolving. And that's why on Earth there are diverse type of magma, as you might have found in different types of classification schemes, like dunite, like orthopyroxenite, like gabbro, like basalt, like andesite, like dacite, like rhyolite. Some of them are intrusive, some of them are extrusive, and obviously there will be some certain textural variations depending upon the rate of cooling a material is given to you, as well as the rate of nucleation of individual crystals, as well as their growth whenever the cooling process is taking place. So obviously you should focus onto these things.